Hello, my name is Rehab Submarine, and this is the first in a two-part series on how to get the No Man's Sky locator working in order to log black holes within the Black Hole Suns project. Now, the Black Hole Locator is a program that makes the process of logging black holes much easier by automatically OCRing your system information so that you don't have to manually type it out, and also getting your system location address from your No Man's Sky save file so you don't have to land on a planet, plop down a signaler in order to get the address of the system. Now, this first part is going to be just over how to install and run the locator. The second part will be more on how to actually use the locator when you are logging, but this first part is just getting it to that point where you can actually use it. Now, the locator requires several things before it will actually work. Now, the first part of installing No Man's Sky Locator is downloading and installing Tesseract. Now, Tesseract is a program that helps OCR images so that you can convert text that isn't selectable into actual readable text that you can then manipulate. So you'll need to go to the link here, and this will take you to the Tesseract GitHub page. And you'll just want to download one of the first two Tesseracts. I downloaded the second one. And once it's downloaded, you'll just need to double click it to start the installation that I'm doing here. I just click agree through this. I install it for anyone using the computer. You don't need the shortcuts. You probably don't even need any of these, the first three. So you can just deselect them. Select where you're going to install it. You'll want to make sure that you remember where this location is, because that will be important later. Sure, just choose a start menu location. I'm fine with the default. Then click next, and it completes really quickly. And that's the first part of the installation. Now, the second part you'll want to do is download the most recent release for No Man's Sky. To do that, on the main No Man's Sky Locator GitHub page, you'll click on the Releases tab. Now, the releases are ordered in the time it was released, and in this case, the most recent one I've released was version 0.5 alpha 2. By the time you are watching this, more than likely it'll be a later version, at least 0.5, and that'll be the one you'll want to download. To download, you just need to scroll down to where it says Assets and click on the zip file. You don't really need the source code zip or the source code tar.gz. You just need the No Man's Sky Locator one. And this will download the zip file. You'll want to make sure you keep it. It comes up as dangerous because it's not a common file that Chrome or even maybe your antivirus has seen before. So just keep it if you see that. And now I'm going to click and drag this to my desktop in order to open it up and everything else. So to open up a zip, you open up however you normally open zips. In this case, I am going to use 7-zip and extract it to a folder. I don't know why it has that -1 at the end, probably because I've tried to record this a couple times. So here is the folder now with No Man's Sky Locator. Now in this folder, it's got 5 different files. You've got the application, and you've got a config file, and a couple other files that we'll get into in a bit. But the file that we want to talk about now is this _bhs_helper.rehabsubmarine.ui.pack. This is a No Man's Sky mod that changes the galaxy screen in No Man's Sky to have a UI that is better fit for OCRing. To show you an example, here's a screenshot that I took of the galaxy screen. And now behind all the system information is this solid black box. So you can't see the stars through it. That might make OCR difficult. I also got rid of an underline and a couple of icons as well. Now, in order to install this mod, you just need to go into your No Man's Sky mod folder. If you've never done this before, it is located in your No Man's Sky, Game Data, PC Banks, and Mods. Now, if you don't have that folder, you'll need to add that folder. And then you'll just click and drag this mod into it. And you'll also want to make sure, if this is the first mod you've installed, to make sure that you rename your disable mods into enable mods, or you can just delete the text document. Once that's done, your mod should be installed. The next thing that you need to do is we now need to update the config.ini file. Now, this is the file that was part of your No Man's Sky Locator download, and it's located right here. When you open it up, it'll look a little something like this, but it'll look actually more like this. Now, it's missing one major thing that you need to add, and the program will not run unless you add it, and that is this screenshot directory. So just copy and paste your directory to wherever your screenshots go by default. In my case, they are in the Steam user screenshots folder, and this user number is different for everybody, so you can't just copy what's here. While you're also in the config, you'll want to make sure that the Tesseract location is the same location that you installed Tesseract in earlier. The next thing you'll want to make sure of is that you may want to have notifications turned on. All these are sound notifications that run in the background to let you know when different stages of the logging process have happened. The locator runs in the background. It has a UI element to it, but if you have the game running full screen, there's no real way to know if it's actually logging anything unless you somehow make the locator in front of your screen. So once you've made these changes, you'll want to, and I'm going to copy from my old file and put it in here, you'll want to save your config file. And that should be all you need to do for your config. The next thing you'll want to make sure of is your resolutions file needs to be correct for the resolution that you run No Man's Sky at. The way that the No Man's Sky locator works is once you take this screenshot, it then crops the screenshot so it just has this info before it runs through the OCR program. Now, I did a fairly okay job of trying to get most of the standard screen resolutions that people play at. But if you are running at an unusual resolution and your screenshots come out at an unusual resolution, you'll need to add that resolution to the resolutions text document. Now, the way this works is it is just a standard kind of comma separated file, and it comes in a couple, there's two parts to it. The first two number values are your resolution. So in my case, it is 2560 by 1440. And then these next numbers are the corners that you need to crop. They are the top left corner and the bottom right corner of your screenshot. To get these numbers, these are the pixel numbers. I use a free photo editor called GIMP. And this will show you on the bottom corner here, as you can see, it will update what pixel location I am at. So if you have an unusual screenshot or unusual resolution, you can go into your screenshot and you can find out that the top left corner is at 76,782, and you can write that down. And then the bottom corner is at here, which would be exactly 875.1209 or 10. So you enter those in and you just save the file if you have an unusual resolution. But if your resolution is already listed here, you don't have to worry about it. Now that that is done, you should be pretty much ready to go. Now let me show you how to actually start it up, and we can make sure that it is ready and you're ready to go on to part 2. So from your Windows menu, click Start and type in CMD. Now this is the command window. You'll want to navigate to where your locator folder is. In our case, it's on the desktop, so let me do that right now. I'm going to skip ahead while I do this. A handy little trick is that you can just type in CD space and you can drag your folder here rather than typing everything out, and press enter. That will quickly bring you to your locator folder, and then you just need to type in nomansky_locator.exe. Now if you've done everything correctly, you should now see this waiting for new locations every 15 seconds. All this means is that every 15 seconds it will check to see if you have updated your save file by saving within No Man's Sky, and it will grab data from there. Or it will also be looking to see if you've added a new screenshot to your screenshot folder. If there's any errors at this point, that means that something went wrong, either with your installation or with your configuration. And one of the more common issues I've seen is that you might have skipped the config portion of the setup and did not include your screenshot directory. If you didn't include this directory and it's still none, this will exit before the program starts. So now that we've completed installation, you can continue on to part 2 of this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.